you on my Instagram to ask me some questions for filming this Q&A, and I really got some questions. And so yes, I'm just starting to answer them now. And I will always write down the name of the account that asked me the question, just in case you want to check it out and I'm pronouncing the name wrong. So, the Ethical Earthling asks, what has changed since you are vegan? Okay, so much has changed for me, just like, I think like everything has changed for me. My whole mindset has changed. Like how I'm looking at the world and what topics I'm thinking about. I'm so much more thinking about my consumption, about what I'm eating, of course, but also about what I'm buying in general, and about society, about politics, just about everything. I'm feeling like I'm more like cleared up in my mind. Sounds weird, but I really feel like I've woken up somehow, and so yes, just everything changed. What are you doing more sustainably and what could you do? Of course, my diet is more sustainable now, like more environmentally friendly, of course, with not consuming any animal products anymore. And for other things, I'm not the perfect example, I'd say, but I try to do my best. Like when I'm going shopping, I'm not buying new plastic bags and stuff, but I bring my bag. And or for example, I'm not going shopping so much anymore. I'm trying to live more minimalistic. I don't know when the last time was that I bought any clothes, for example, because I think I have enough, so why should I buy more clothes? And if I buy some, I try to get them secondhand, and I think this is also good, like to save resources. And yes, so I try to do my best in all kind of ways, but I'm definitely not perfect in this yet. How do you plan a trip, save money for traveling? How do I plan a trip? I don't really plan that much. I just look where I want to go, book a flight, book an accommodation, and yeah, then just go there and yeah, but I'm not traveling that much at the moment. Like I've been on a trip just once this year so far, so yeah, I'm not traveling that much at the moment because I'm having a full-time job, and this is also how I save money. I don't really have to save money for trips because I have enough money left every month, so for me it's not really it's not so difficult for me to have money for traveling if I'm not saving money for other things. But the time is more a problem for me at the moment than the money for traveling. And I also don't do expensive travels. I don't go to like fancy hotels or anything, so I'm traveling really cheap, so it's not really hard to get the money together every month with a full-time job to go on a trip. And the last question, still from the Ethical Earthling, is what is your personal happiness? There are many things that make me happy. I'm happiest the most when I feel like my life is in balance and everything seems to fall into place, like when I'm able to travel, to eat good food, to have great people around me. That's just everything that makes me happy. I don't really need a lot of stuff, like materialistic stuff, to make me happy. It's all about like feeling content with my life and the place I'm in and the situation I'm in. Plant-based Gudrun asks what my favorite treats are. I would say just anything with chocolate probably, because I really love chocolate. But basically I think that a lot of my meals I eat every day are like treats, like oatmeal and ice cream and everything. It's also sweet and yummy, and I don't really need any special treats. She also asked, would you ever date a meat eater? That's interesting. I didn't really think about this a lot so far because at the moment I'm not interested in a relationship at all. But my ex-boyfriend, he was not a vegan. He was eating my meals when I made something for him, and he liked it and he accepted my decision, but he was not a vegan, and I didn't really have an issue with that. When it comes to dating, yeah, I'd say for something that is like, okay, it sounds stupid, but for non-serious things, it would definitely not be a problem for me, or it is no problem for me. And when it comes to dating for a serious relationship, yes, I would date a meat eater. And there are a few reasons for that. The first reason is that, let's be honest, there just aren't too many vegans out there. So if we have like just a few vegans, and then we have a few male vegans, and of that few male vegans, we need to look for that one male vegan that that we can have a relationship with. It's pretty unrealistic if you're not hanging around with vegans all the time. Of course, then it's maybe another story, but for me, here at the moment, it would be really hard to find a boyfriend that is vegan or even vegetarian. Then the other reason is that I think that we all come from somewhere. I mean, I ate meat like almost all my life, so how can I expect someone else to be like that perfect human being who's a vegan? And like, I mean, we all come from somewhere, and I think that we can all become vegan at some point in our life. And if we as vegans only date vegans, then how can we have a positive influence on our partner? I think it's a really good thing to have a partner, or if you have a partner that is a meat eater, and you are a vegan, I think you can really have a positive impact on their life, and you can give them information. And if your partner really loves you, then I think he will take you seriously, and he will think about, okay, what is she doing? Why is she doing this? She's my girlfriend, so maybe I should get into this and I should inform myself about what she's doing. And so I think there's always a chance that your partner goes vegan. And especially if you as a vegan are the one who cooks like most meals, it's possible that your partner will just eat whatever you make. So it's I think it's possible that your partner eats more vegan stuff automatically with being together with you, which is a good thing. And he will probably see how good it tastes and will maybe consider going vegan himself. So yes, I think we shouldn't say that we should only date vegans. Of course, if you have a big problem with this because it disgusts you, and yeah, then I mean, it's your choice. And I also think that it's really hard, like, to when you fall in love, to tell yourself, no, you can't be in love with this guy because it's not a vegan. I think that's really hard. If you can do this, you have my huge respect, but I don't have this kind of self-control, I guess. And I really think that not many people have this. If you fall in love, you fall in love. I mean, what can you do about it? Next question comes from... I never know how to pronounce her name. I think it's Vera Rolle. Vera Rolle? Vera Rolle? No idea. Okay, your question is, how did you imagine vegans before you became one? Oh, I love this question because I always liked vegans a lot. I always thought that they were right with what they're doing, and I always admired them. And I thought, oh, it's so great that they are vegan, wish I could be like them and all this stuff. So I never ever hated on vegans. I always knew what they were doing is the right thing to do. So yes, Back to Felicity is asking some German questions, but I will just translate them into English so everyone can understand them. The first question is, what would your dream job be? I don't have a specific dream job, like I want to be this or that. I never had this, but my dream job is definitely a job where I can work on my own and for my own, and like be independent time-wise, and also with my workplace. So my ideal job would be like working from home or from my laptop whenever I want to work, and for how long I want to work every day, and yeah, just working on my own and having the freedom to do what I want to do. Do you have a favorite flower? No, I don't have a favorite flower. I'm not really that much of a flower person. I mean, I like to look at the flowers in nature and to take photos of flowers in nature, but I'm not the one that is like super happy if she gets flowers as a present, for example. I'm just not that much into it. She also asked about my main reasons for going vegan and what my diet looked like before. So my only reason for going vegan had been the animals. There was nothing else that made me go vegan. And my diet before was an omnivore diet. I had never been a vegetarian in my life, but I wasn't eating a lot of meat because when I was cooking for myself, for example, I never cooked with meat anymore, and I didn't buy meat because it's also pretty expensive and I couldn't really afford it. So yes, and it was a pretty healthy omnivore diet with not a lot of animal products. I still ate meat, but not when I was cooking for myself, and I still ate cheese and yogurt and milk and eggs, but it was already pretty plant-based with lots of healthy foods. So it was more like a healthy omnivore diet, if you want to call an omnivore diet healthy, which I'm not doing, but I think it was a healthier omnivore diet than most people eat nowadays, if you get what I mean. Snow Sala asks what my 5 countries are that I'd like to visit. Oh my god, only 5. I want to visit like so many countries, but I try. Okay, I definitely want to visit Finland in my life, and Iceland, and Hawaii, and Costa Rica, and Australia or New Zealand. Or Australia, not sure. Both. I think if I visit Australia, I visit New Zealand. And if I visit New Zealand, I'll visit Australia. So Australia and New Zealand. Flores Tippy is asking what I'm passionate about, and Sarah Marco asks about my hobbies, so I think it's kind of the same thing, so we'll put this together. It's difficult. I don't really have like one real hobby that I'm doing. Like, I'm not like painting or making music or something like that. First of all, I'm really passionate about veganism, of course. I'm passionate about health and about just, yeah, I think I've become really passionate about just improving myself and my life, and like taking steps to creating the life I want to live and stuff like that, and also about getting better as a person, like improving my whole mindset and all of that stuff. And one of my hobbies is probably also running. I love running, I love reading books, I love meeting friends and just talking, and I love taking photos, and Okay, one of my hobbies, if I had more time for this, would probably be traveling. And maybe in the future I will do more traveling, because it's really something I'm really passionate about. Every time I'm traveling, I'm like so happy, and I feel that I really, really love it and really want to do more travel. Earthling Doll asks, what would your dream career be? Yeah, what would your dream career be? Like I already said, I don't really have that one dream job. I just want to work on my own and be free with the decisions, and I want to work something that I'm really passionate about and that is really fun for me, so it doesn't really even feel like I'm working. I don't want to have a career where I have to get up every morning and say, oh no, I have to go to work. Just this is the case now, actually, at the moment. And I would like to have a career based around veganism and health and all of these topics. That would be a dream, of course. Plentiful Soul asks, what is your vegan story? I don't really have a big vegan story, I think. It kind of was like that. Some years ago, I already watched some videos on YouTube about animal cruelty and about just everything around this topic. And I also watched Earthlings years ago, and it was really, really horrible for me. So I really already knew what was going on in the animal agriculture years ago, and I already knew some people, like more online, but I knew that there are some people that are vegan, and I was always loving the idea of being vegan, but for me it was just so unrealistic. I mean, veganism wasn't that much of a topic like it is today with all the products in supermarkets and stuff. So I kind of just put all this knowledge I already had about what happens to the animals in the back of my mind, so I didn't have to think about it. And then years later, like about just over a year ago or a year and a half ago, I came across an online forum. There was a topic about Freelie, the banana girl, and they were like talking about how crazy this woman is, and so I got just interested and stumbled across her YouTube account, and I thought that they're right, that this woman is really, really crazy. But then I just watched more and more of her videos also about the animals, and slowly it started to make sense to me what she's saying. And as I said, I already knew about what's going wrong in the world with the animals, so I was on her side with that, of course. And then I just watched more YouTube videos of other people, and I just kept on watching videos. And then slowly I started to feel really bad after eating animal products, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I don't really remember the day when I finally went vegan, but I remember that I started to feel more and more guilty after eating, and I couldn't even enjoy my food anymore. So I just had to go vegan to be able to eat, because I just didn't feel good anymore about eating. So yeah, that's it. And then I just went vegan overnight. I don't really know anymore, but one day I stopped eating any animal products, and that's it. Gentle Eats asks, when did you first go vegan, and was there a particular documentary or person that inspired you? I first went vegan about just over a year ago. I think it was in March 2015 or something like that. I don't really know the date. And like I said, I was watching lots of YouTube videos, but there was no particular documentary or video that made me go vegan. It was more like a process with watching all of the videos. And like I said, Freely the Banana Girl was definitely a huge inspiration for me. I don't know if I was vegan if it wasn't for her, so although I don't like everything Freely does nowadays, I really think that she is the reason for so many people to go vegan. And this is why I truly just love Freely still. It's, yeah, and I'm so thankful that I discovered her, and yeah, just for everything she does for the vegan movement. Leonor Baptista asks, what are your hobbies and passions? I already talked about this. What do you do for work, and is that your dream career? I already talked about my dream career and my dream job, what this would look like. And no, at the moment I'm not doing my dream job. I'm working in an office, I'm working in customer service, so I'm answering emails and stuff like that, and it is definitely not my dream job. Because it's a typical 9-to-5 job with sitting on your ass in front of the computer all day long, and like being really dependent on your boss and not having the freedom to make decisions on your own, to work when you want to work, from where you want to work. So no, I'm not having my dream job at the moment. Do you have a favorite vegan meal you could eat every day? This is simple, it's oatmeal. Are there vegan people in your life, like friends and family? I don't really have a lot of contact with my family except for my parents, and my parents, they aren't vegan, and as far as I know, no one in our family is vegan. Friends, my close friends and just the friends I see on a regular basis are not vegan. I know a few people in real life that are vegan, but that's it. Like most of the people in my life that I have around me, a lot of the time they are not vegan. I had one more question somewhere. There's one more question from Leonor Baptista, and she asks what foods and meals I could not live without. I could definitely not live without oats and without oatmeal. And other than that, yeah, it would be really sad if I had to live without an ice cream and chocolate. I could not live without chocolate and without nuts and nut butters. And also just starches like pasta and rice. I could not live without that. Yes, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video and it was a little bit interesting for you. And yeah, so that's it. Bye!